Oh yeah, I could totally see Bailey's. Like, I'm not a big fan of mint in general, but like I can see how the two flavors would definitely complement each other.
Well, it's
Bailey's
chocolate and peppermint, so.
yeah.
You ever drink Baileys from a shoe?
What? What? Wait.
I got the funk. I got the funk. All right,
Yes,
get
sir.
it. No, I got the funk. I got a mangina. Oh, you've never seen old Greg, have you? You've never seen old Greg, have you, Sunker?
I have not.
Oh, all right, boys and girls, we might have to make that a donation goal tonight.
What is old
We'll
Greg?
show Sunker. Oh, you're in for a treat, my friend. You are in for a treat. You are in for a treat.
Before the night is out, she's
you?
gonna be kissing a scaly manfish.
Oh
No!
man, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be
Me
great.
kissing the Loch Ness monster.
So this, I'll give you. I won't spoil anything for you, but it's one of those like old school, and don't look it up either because it is a lot of. It's not gross or nasty. It's just kind of like weird, but it's funny. It is legitimately funny. But like it's one of those old, like way back in like the early days of internet videos and like skits going around and stuff like that.
Well,
I was one of the first ones to like go viral. What? It was it was the first ones to go viral on the internet, though.
Yes,
I know it was like made for the internet.
The larger thing was part of a bigger show called The Mighty Boosh. It was one of those like weird British comedy shows.
Yeah, but it was one of the first things that I really remember going viral on like the early days of the internet when I was in the military and everybody first started like, oh, have you seen this? Oh my God. Back when like we were all still playing on like Newgrounds and stuff like that.
Oh, Newgrounds.
Yeah,
what
like
a
those kind of days.
Weird, charmed place that was. Full of really nice stuff and huge depravity.
Wow.
Huge
I mean, that was
depravity.
You basically described the internet at all stages. like that's like, it's like, okay, that's like, back then Newgrounds was like there's everything there, right? It's like Twitter is now. There's everything there. It was like Facebook was for like a short window of time as well. You could find everything there. Okay. And I do mean that.
Kick games and pornos.
And so that's what's really funny about that is that's what it was. That's the internet's always been, it's all it is a reflection. It is the purest, most honest mirror of our culture as a whole. All of the amazing, wonderful, fabulous parts and all of the darkest and nastiest, seediest parts of our culture. It's everything reflected right back at us. People are like, oh my God, I can't believe that on the internet. Honey, if it's on the internet, that means it's happening in the real world.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Because otherwise it wouldn't exist on the internet. So it's like, it's a pure mirror. It is a pure mirror back at the soul of the culture.
Well, the internet actually did kind of all the very, very good things of the internet, it did also allow for a lot of weird freaks to get together.
Yeah. And that's what I said. It's like, it's one of those things. It's for better or worse. You know what I mean? It's an equal opportunity monster, and that's what I like about it. It's like the internet's fire, is really what it is. It's a necessary thing, but you're going to get, sometimes you're going to get a guy that's going to set a building on fire. You know what I mean? Sometimes somebody's going to use the internet to go find some deep seated, corner of the internet to sell their favorite illegal wares on. You know what I mean? Like, but you're also going to have, like churches and like, private organizations out there that are organizing on the internet of all of these relief efforts. And if it wasn't for this, chat board that they're using that they can communicate in real time with, because the internet's just that fast. And it doesn't matter if they're in the middle of, the BFE in Afghanistan, or the guys they're having to coordinate with are in Utah, it doesn't matter. It's happening instantaneously at the exact same time. The bad things are happening instantaneously. So it's like, it's
a give and take.
Yeah. And it's like, and the better we are as a culture, the better we are as people, the internet will reflect that. So that's all it is.
So,
the ultimate.
So we should heed the old woman and like, fire's bad. The internet is bad. Things were so much simpler before the internet.
No, I am an absolute optimist. I think
it was a simpler time. It was a better place for a more civilized time.
God, I wish the prequels.
We're not talking about lightsabers. Shut up. And by the way, that was a really bad.
Like,
that was a really bad version of that.
Just that line was so fun because that it gave you such wonder of like, what was it like in the heyday? And then it was just like prequels happen. It's like, it's retarded. Okay.
That's always been one of my favorite things to look into. Just this question of what was it people believed happened in the prequel era before we actually got those. And there are some crazy fictions out there about all these things that happened. Like the Clone Wars were a war of like were wars of cloners going to war with one another. Was one
that would have been awesome. That would have been really cool, and that would have explained like why they're the Clone Wars, and it would just become a mass production arms race, basically.
Exactly.
I mean, our Clone Wars still makes sense though too, because I'm like that's the force that they were using, and they wouldn't have been able to even have the war if it wasn't for all the clones. They had to use the clones.
It's not the same. It's kind of like, what? I gave you peanuts, I gave you caramel, I gave you chocolate. That's a Snickers bar. And it's like, but it's not quite a Snickers bar.
Well, I mean, it's like, you know, if you had a war with the Daleks, you'd call it the Dalek War. You know what I mean? So
it was an interesting story, just not told well. Like it could have been done better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's always I mean, you got to think about it, especially back then. There was a lot of crazy things going on. I mean, I fortunately enough was not perusing, and I know Ironcaster isn't old enough either to have perused any of those crazy message boards back in the 90s. But if Griffin decides to pop in tonight, Griffin, I know, is old enough to have perused all of those crazy boards back in the day. And I'd be very curious to hear some of the wild stories of some of the fan theories they had about some of that stuff back then. Because those would be some interesting stories.
Dude, if I had control over it, I would have actually ended the prequels with having everyone believe Anakin Skywalker had died. And then it would make sense chronologically.
Well, most of the universe did believe he died.
I know, but I would...
that was the story that was told.
Have it be for the audience that, like, Anakin Skywalker is dead. That way you could watch it chronologically, and then it would
and okay, so if you didn't see his fall to the dark side, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Or maybe, or like you said, leave it with Ben killing him.
Leave it with Ben killing him or something like that.
And you don't ever see Palpatine come in and save him.
Yes.
And then because you did that with the movies, and since, you know, it's not like Lucas ever had a problem dicking with the stuff that was already done anyway, slip that in as a flashback, and Empire Strikes Back, right? As a flashback after Vader drops Luke, after Luke falls, Vader walks away, and Vader has the flashback of how Palpatine came in and saves him.
I would have
actually. So you explain it all in one shot.
I would actually double that flashback to have it be first having Anakin being fucking his ass kicked by Obi-Wan.
That fight's too good. You got to have that in there. You got to have that. No. That fight can't be a flashback. That needs to happen in real time in the movie.
No, I mean showing him after he's lost. So you'd still have the fight scene. But if you were going to go over and do a flashback, show him at his lowest, kind of what he went over and just did to Luke. And then
you could do like a quick little like recap of the fight scene or something, or like the last bit of it anyway, when he finally gets him.
Yeah, and kind of like him at his lowest, Palpatine came, and then he became Darth Vader. It would actually looked a lot better, and actually kind of double up on what Yoda was always fucking worried about. It's like, I hope you don't turn evil.
Right. I hope you don't end up just like your dad.
We thought it'd be easier for you to kill him if you didn't know he was your father.
Right. I thought maybe that would have made life way easier. But that's just one of those. That's, hindsight's 2020. George didn't think that anything was going to become of this with his first movie like he had no idea this thing was going to blow up the way it did. You know what I mean? So
he certainly never.
That's why.
He certainly never expected that Star Wars would have become a quasi religion.
I mean, to some folks, yeah.
Yeah. Well, whenever you introduce something like mystical, like the Force, there's gonna be some weird attachment. Yeah. Or are you saying religion, like in how some way Star Trek is kind of like a quasi religion?
Well, I would say if any of the two were to be compared to a religion, it would have been Star Wars, because for as big as Star Trek has been, like,
yeah, it's never been as big as Star Wars.
Yeah.
Man, I want Jedi when they were cool, not retarded.
I know, right?
It's so hard to find a Jedi that's not retarded.
I mean, there's a lot of things they could have done that wouldn't have been as retarded. Like for example, why do we make all the Jedi wear the exact same obvious robe when here's Ben was wearing that because that was what everyone on Tatooine wore. He was blending in.
Yeah. Like, that's why I like KOTOR, is because they brought in different colors and the design was slightly different. So you could see why it would be an easier swap from Ben's robes to Jedi robes, or vice versa. But again, that's why I like KOTOR, is that they went over and they added different colors and they added rankings, and it was all really, really cute. And then it wasn't as cool.
And then it wasn't as cool later.
Like, actually, they should have made the robes more audacious if the story was they were getting too far away from the Force and just focusing on politics all the time. It would make sense that they would actually start wearing more elaborate robes or something with more designs onto it to go over and like distance themselves from like that very humble Jedi of what Yoda was.
Kind of like closer to what you'd see almost like with the with the Time Lords and stuff like that, with the High Council and like kind of what those guys wear or something. I could definitely see like that, and that would be an interesting way to tell it visually as well. But then at the exact same time, it's like, well, we have to keep up appearances.
We don't want to seem too foppish. Get the brown robes,
right. Get the brown robes out. I don't know. It's one of those situations where it's like there's a lot of things that could have been done a little bit better, but at the end of the day, it was George's vision, it was George's world, and we were just all we can do is go in there and we can criticize it. That's our right. We're fans. We're the ones that have paid the money to make sure these franchises became what they became. But at the exact same time, it's like it's never going to stop. For all of my criticisms, it's never going to stop me from going back and watching those movies and enjoying that stuff. And I know not everybody likes to go back and watch the prequels. But I will gladly go back and watch them because I've just got so many fond memories of those movies. And my first chance of seeing that stuff at the theaters, and I've been watching those movies on VHS all through my childhood. You know what I mean? So it's like, that was a big deal for me. So I love those movies. I love them. I want to be I still want a pod racer. I want a pod racer.
Oh, everyone wanted a pod racer, even though everyone says like it was the most boring thing ever. Fuck you, it was fun.
That pod racing scene was epic. That pod racing scene was epic. Yeah, it was.
Well, the thing was, as someone who was like 9-10 years old when that came out, I absolutely loved the pod racing scene. Like, it was geared at kids, and that was the stuff that got them in. Like, I remember after that going and buying the pod racer games and getting
it's kind of like having Quidditch and going over saying that no, Quidditch sucks, even though everyone fucking loves Quidditch. Everyone would want to be in a fucking pod racer race with all that stuff,
dude.
You could accidentally get shot by Tusken Raiders.
I cannot tell you how many hours I played that game on N64. Yeah. I cannot tell you how many hours I put in on that game on N64. That game was so much fun. Upgrading all your stuff and fixing your things and swapping out your engines. And that's a game. Oh, man. They need to remaster that game.
That makes me sad because of how KOTOR did pod racing kind of sucked, where it was just basically time trials.
Oh, that's gay. I hate just time trial stuff. That
sucked. So and you had to hit.
That's not pod racing. That's doing laps against yourself. That's essentially, that's not racing. That's masturbation. Seriously, you're literally trying to beat yourself. That's just horrible. Oh, that's horrible. Well, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've had enough foreplay, haven't you all? I think we have. And by God, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, classic Who, when Who was good.
Daleks screaming through the void. Time Lord scheming, oh what a ploy. Zygons shifting flesh and face. Where did it go wrong? What a disgrace. When Doctor Who was good, when it burned like it should, when the TARDIS doors slammed and the monster still stood. A sunken maiden, her yell so clear, echoes in the ocean you can't unhear. Cybermen marching steel on steel. Back then the fear was all too real. Common nerd ranting, hands in the air. Gallifrey's gone, he's pulling his hair. When Doctor Who was good, when it burned like it should, when the stories had weight and the endings were Mr. Grant Gregory, he knows it all, the rise, the fall, the cannon call with his scarf and his specs and his books stacked tall. Grant Gregory, tell us
God damn you, Andy!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another wonderful edition of When Who Was Good, boys and girls. It's just with the common nerd, and we are back at it tonight with some classic Who. Ladies and gentlemen, we just had an epic last two episodes for the first two episodes of the series. Series 2 of season 1 out there, because now we have introduced one of the ultimate villains of all time, arguably, well, I honestly think unarguably the most recognizable Doctor Who villain out there, bar none, the Daleks. Boys and girls, they are officially out there. Plungers are at the ready. Everyone be terrified. It's dangerous. And honestly, that's one of the other beautiful things about this. That was a scary scene. And like all of us know how these things are made and how they were put together in the beginning, and the way it's shot, the way they do it, her acting, they crushed it. So I'm super excited to get into the next two episodes of that. We're going to give a little recap, a little bit of review of last week's episode of what everybody thought about it, since we do have our returning guest. Hopefully our Mr. Grant Gregory can sneak out of his emu POW camp at some point and slide in at the back. At least nothing else, he'll come in on voice, because we have a tin can running all the way from Australia, piping it directly into the Rumble studios because, yes, boys and girls, Rumble will pipe in anything you ask, including a tin can from Australia. So, to help me talk about all of those tin cans and so much more, speaking of cans, Sunker Maiden, what's going on, sister? How you doing tonight?
Hello. I replaced chair.
She
Chair
replaced
is
your- oh, yes, hold on.
gone.
Hold on.
Sorry, one moment.
Show
I'll
off
let
your
you
new
guys
chair,
know this
Sunker.
thing.
Show off your
yeah.
new chair.
I was going to show it off earlier, but a whole bunch of stuff happened. But yeah, here's new chair.
There
It has
you go.
cool
Look
like
at that.
little wing things, so I could sit cross-legged or not. It is my choice, and the wings are resilient enough because they're made for fat people. That my dog actually went over and jumped up and sat on the wing and was looking out the window. So,
Oh, that is great. That is great. Well, I'm glad you've got a new chair. Is it a lot? I'm assuming it's got to be a lot more comfortable than your little pillow thing you had before.
well, it's nice to actually have something covering up my back, and actually, I don't quite know what to do with actual lumbar support, so I'm going to be shifting a bit. But
there you go.
I'm very happy to see the next part of the next part of Doctor Who and all that stuff. This is back when actors could actually just fucking act despite what they fucking actually thought. Because I think we went over and discovered it during the episode that the actress that plays the granddaughter, she actually thought that things were so fucking stupid, and she was constantly laughing at them behind the scenes.
Yeah, that was one of the fun little factoids we found out last week. And yeah, that was really cool. And that's one of the things, that's one of the reasons why we love having, especially a lot of you guys out there in the chat. And then, of course, when Grant's here, when he can make it, that's one of the beautiful things we love about that, too, because you guys are so full of a lot of the behind the scenes. Because Grant's one of those guys, like, he's been reading Doctor Who magazine since he could read. You know, he was probably getting it read to him as a child. You know what I mean? So, like, he's been, like, this guy, God bless him. The man and pray for his sanity at all times. The man's been keeping up with even the stuff that's been going on and some of the neo Disney Doctor Who era. So like he's like I can't stop. It's just part of who I just got to do it. I got to do it. I just got to write it out. I'm like I respect you, brother.
He's got a little bit of battered wife where she's like, you know what? It's not that bad. I mean, this episode with Shooty wasn't as terrible as all the other episodes were. I'm like, Grant.
Yeah. I only got one black eye this time instead of two. So yeah, it's okay.
Maybe he has gotten better. A little bit of battered spouse syndrome.
It was my fault. I mean, I went over and had too high expectations.
I mean, to be fair, all of us kind of had too high of expectations because RTD was coming back.
Oh, yeah.
And that was all on, truth be told, it was all on us and it's my fault too, because I'm a cautious optimist. I just can't help myself. Like I had my fingers crossed, you know what I mean? We were all like, maybe. And then it was like, no, we're not even going to just give you the finger. We're going to give you a full fist right up your rear end. And then just when you think it's over, we're going to give you a second one right up there too. And then we're going to spread it out. And then we're going to just walk around with you like this.
Maybe it'll be okay. Maybe they'll get back to normal Doctor Who. Cue gay black men twirling in a tutu. Okay, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yep, never mind. But speaking of men that like to twirl in tutus, hey, Ironcaster, what's going on, buddy? How's everything been going? I heard you played with I heard you played with yourself last night.
Among other things. No, actually, it was yesterday was crazy. It was like everything was canceling on me left, right, and center. Yesterday I was supposed to have gone and done D&D. That got canceled. I'm like, all right, cool. So my morning's free. 5 o'clock rolls around. I was like, hey, what would be my normal stream? That got canceled due to technical difficulties. Like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Nick is off doing dad duties.
Comic shop talk. Yeah.
It was like one after another. Like I wound up having 4 events, 3 streams, all cancel on me.
That is wild. Did you guys even do the Cotton Council last night?
No, not to my knowledge.
Wow, that was wow.
No,
so even that one didn't happen.
No, Snow was in Texas at the time, so he was
a
little bit away from his rig.
Handy.
Yeah, there's a Dallas. There's a con going on right now because I keep seeing the pictures from all the guys with the Rippaverse, and all of that kind of stuff. There's a con going on right now that a bunch of them are at.
Handy, I hate to go over and say this, but we're actually going to cancel this one as well. We just wanted to make sure to tell it to your face rather than cancel ahead of time. So,
yeah.
bye.
All right, everybody, have a good night. Enjoy the.
I at least got to the stream.
That's right. That's right. Good night, everybody. No, I'm just kidding.
No, say. You're triggering the bots. Leave. No.
No, that's.
I will go get the puppet.
Right, he will. Oh God, no. Oh my God, yeah. There's enough fisting in Doctor Who without having anybody's hand up a puppet's ass right now.
Okay.
So yeah, they already treated Doctor Who's corpse as a puppet. So,
like so many franchises.
I know it happens. It happens. But other than that, you're doing pretty good, Ironcaster. Other than having all your fun time yesterday canceled.
Oh yeah, actually worked out pretty well for me. I got to sit around and kind of do not much of anything, catch up on a couple shows here or there, and
there you go.
Get ready for another week of another 50 hours of work this week.
Hey, there you go. I feel that. That's fun.
Yep.
That's all. All right, well, boys.
Something I have to do later.
Oh no, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna say hi to all of you fabulous folks out there in the chat, and then we're gonna give everybody because BBC are about as bad, probably worse than Warner Brothers, I think, in some cases when it comes to their copyright stuff out there. So we are no longer going to give you even a tease or a sample over on the YouTube side of the Doctor Who intro. But instead of in that place, we will give you a little bit of a recap, our little quick reviews, 5 minutes or so of everybody's individual little reviews of the last 2 episodes that we saw last week. And that would have been here. I'll give it. So in case anybody has forgotten, the Dead Planet and the Survivors, episodes 5 and 6 of last week. For those two right there, we'll give you a little bit of that before we jump over to the Rumble side exclusively. So join us on one of those streaming platforms over there. That is an alternative because, that's the way YouTube's bots are. They can't tell the difference between what's fair use and what's not. And yeah, BBCs don't just copyright claim. No, they straight up block. So no one was even able to see this stream until I was able to cut all that stuff out Monday morning. So yeah, we're not one of the chosen ones over there. We don't get to do that kind of stuff. So, but let's go say hi to all of you fabulous folks out there in the chat. We got Spartacus, another one of our fine channel subscribers over there on Rumble. Says soon. And you also can become a channel subscriber or member for $5 less or a month, boys and girls. And get us closer and closer to those 100 subscribers. We need to keep the lights on around here indefinitely. Also, we are, as always, is one of our evening streams. So we're always fundraising for something. We're still trying to get a couple extra beds for the kids, for the bunk bed. Now that we've got completely and totally assembled, because I ordered a full size and not a twin, because hey, it had the slide. You know what I mean? And I believed the pictures and didn't read the description. So I need 2 more mattresses. So we've got a little thing going for that. We got Dancing Sunker, Dancing Babies, all of that kind of fun stuff. Common Nerd will take dabs. I've got gummies. Ooh, and I forgot to bring this up, but we were at the grocery store the other day, and I found these in
Jelly Bellies!
Yes, in the international section. We now have a British section at our grocery store, the international section, and they had Jelly Babies, and I have never had Jelly Babies before. So I will have Jelly Babies for the stream tonight. So now I have the scarf. All I need is like the hat and the jacket for that doctor now, because I even have Jelly Babies, and I know where to get a consistent supply of Jelly Babies now.
For
now. So that'll be fun as well. So we'll crack those open later. So yeah, boys and girls. So that's some of the fun stuff that we do around here in the evenings as well. Gifty subs will get you Dancing Sunker. Direct donations will get you whatever you want. If you want to request something specific for whatever your donations are, you can get Dancing Baby as well if you don't want Dancing Sunker or whatever you guys want. We're easy around here. Darth Dave says, hail. Hopefully the new chair has the high moisture capacity. Let's hope so, Darth Dave.
Well, it's easy to clean.
Hey, well, there you go. That makes it best then. Tabletop Junkie Games is what's up. And sorry, I'm not highlighting some of you early guys on Rumble. Rumble's studio doesn't pull that stuff in from the early days. So, but I will highlight everybody as I can. Jake Ron Good to see you, Jake. Says, howdy, Jesse. Chat. Sorry I missed the Bible study this morning, but I wanted to help. Stop by and say hi at least once today and let you know in the most epic and hilarious song about the Blood Ravens chapter. Nice. Appreciate that, buddy. That I found this afternoon. It's called Yoink, a Blood Ravens song. Lols. You'll have a few minutes, Jesse. You should check it out. Thank you, Jake. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Ironcaster and I will both appreciate that.
There's been a lot of great AI songs all for the Warhammer stuff. Like, I know there's a couple I was sharing with you about Cyphus Kane, for example. Good old Hero of Imperium.
Yes. I love it. Cyphus Kane's the man. There we go. Now I can highlight Spartacus. There he is. NC Native, what's up, buddy? Another one of our fine channel subscribers. We're not going to make the doc a black female named Dr. Who Dat.
We already did that.
I love it. Oh God, that's horrible. Shadow 199, another one of our fine channel subscribers. Sunker eats Snickers upside down for the texture. I believe that.
I did see that. I was just like, what happened to the dick vein? Why did they remove the dick vein? Gentlemen, it's back. They returned the dick vein.
You're welcome.
Sunker's so happy now. Melissa Smith, what's going on, Melissa? This is caramel, peanut, and chocolate. Still isn't vanilla. There you go. That's true. It's true. This is true. I love it. Oh, Spartacus. There we go. Making sure I don't miss anybody. True Survivor Cinema. What's up, True Survivor Cinema? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Antifa going to fight night in Portland. That'll be fun. Lucas had 2 sequels of Star Wars set up. The Empire Strikes Back if Star Wars was a success, and Splinter's the Mind Eye if Star Wars wasn't a success. Yep, that's true. Splinter's the Mind Eye. That's right. Oh, there we go. It's hard to find a Jedi that is retarded. Sunker Maidens. Sounds like a witch would fit in the Jedi Order.
Isn't retarded, Shadow. Isn't retarded. They were all really retarded.
I know, you got it. That's what I'm saying. You would fit in just fine in this Jedi Order. That's exactly what he's saying. Oh, that is great. And yes, the emojis are on. Boys and girls. Nancy Native says, I only hear quitters play Quidditch. Darth Dave, what's up, buddy? Says pod racing scene was good. See, exactly, Darth Dave. Exactly.
That was so wizard.
Shut up.
I'm bringing it back.
You're not bringing it back. Bring it back when it feels natural. If it feels forced, it's New Who or Neo Who.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Neo Who. Exactly. Nerd can fund his own basketball team. That's true. Getting close. Good job, Handy. And I don't know why it says Darth Dave. There you go, Darth Dave. That's okay. As long as there you go. That's all you got to do is disagree with Sunker. It's okay. Yeah, we want to know if the chair's moisture proof, so it should be okay. There we go. All right. Make sure you don't miss
leather.
anybody.
Sorry, it's leather. I don't know if it's leather, but
what's the tariff rate on jelly babies? I don't know. I didn't look. It wasn't enough for me to freak out at the price because I don't remember. So not that bad.
Well, in proper American fashion, we need to measure it in hamburgers.
Sure. How about it? Sure.
How many Big Macs could you buy for that can of jelly babies?
All right. I don't know. Your average Bridget nerd. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, buddy. Glad you made it in. So good to see you guys. All right. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sit here and eat some jelly babies.
Lazy fish.
I know. While Ironcaster tells everybody what he thought of last week's 2 episodes of the Dead Planet. We had the radiation stuff going on. Everybody's getting sick. Then we have that second episode or the end of the first episode where we get our little first appearance of the Daleks, and Homegirl gets sucker faced by the Dalek. That's what we need, is Sunker making out with a Dalek plunger kind of video out there. But yeah, so all of that kind of fun stuff. And then we got them all attacked and everything else. So what do you think about all that, Ironcaster? What'd you think?
Well, it was a little bit of a slow start to it, but there's a good bit of momentum at the same time. Parts of it did kind of drag a bit. I felt that there was a good building of tension and suspense to it, especially the way we cut off from the first episode where Barbara is facing some horrible unknown thing, unlike anything she had seen before. There's a good bit of suspense there that we hadn't been fully prepared for, and now it seems like anything could be possible. Which was a good, solid first episode with all the buildup of kind of planting a lot of the seeds of things like the Doctor lies. We're seeing a bit of good play in that way, though. Although that second episode did feel like it could have been condensed down to about a good solid 10 minutes of material.
No, that's completely and totally fair.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's about it. It's a pretty good story so far, but this felt like this could have been. We could have cut out that episode, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. All right. Well, there you go. Good fair assessment. That's fair. I think it's absolutely fair. Good job, Aaron Gasher. Sonker, jelly baby.
No, thank you. But alrighty. So for the last 2 episodes, we went over and got stuck in a planet, and that's actually when we get the establishment of we actually don't know how to fly this fucking thing. I think what this one episode was, what a lot of the lull parts were to go over and kind of establish relationships, establish the technology of the TARDIS, and kind of like set the brickwork of, okay, no thank you. Of just kind of what to expect while these people are interacting with each other. We're getting like the butting of the heads between the Doctor and Ethan. Sorry, names are bad. I'm bad with names. Ian. I keep mixing them up. Ian. We get how their relationship works, his relationship with Barbara, the relationship with Susan, and how they're all kind of interacting and reacting. And it's really fun to see how the Daleks started out, as they were just going to be a monster of the week, which is it's not that different from a lot of sci-fi shows. And instead of, it's interesting to see how they evolved for good and for bad. I actually like them when they're more practical and when they're very practical rather than how New Who kind of dumbed them down a bit as like this thing of hatred and they are basically the epitome of rage when really they're just like fucking Nazis. So, which there is anger in them and they're pieces of shit, but you know. Other than that, I have no idea what to expect of the mutie people other than they're probably gonna die. All in all, because we never see them again.
All right.
So if you had to point out any one particular thing about it you did not like for the 2 episodes, what would it be?
It is slow, and I think we were filling up the void of time with the slowness by making jokes and stuff. The fucking metal porcupine thing and all that other stuff. Yeah, it was slow. It was just very slow, and they probably probably with how they shot everything, they needed more filler time, so that's why they had to do a lot of like establishing shots.
I like the porcupine bit, but I could see where it might have dragged on a bit. Mm-hmm. Though I would want to go and compare to some other British shows from about that time to see if that wasn't more so a issue of that was just how everything was shot, or if that was just this.
Yeah, there's like even though it was slow, I don't find it egregious because that's just the direction of the time. You take what you. I fully acknowledge it's slow, but that's just how they shot it, and I appreciate the pros of older television a lot more because. At least it's not like modern television where I'm watching it and then I'm going to get hit in the face with a sex scene or someone's going to go over and start pontificating about how I need to go over and save the environment or something. It's just like, we're just here to entertain you. Don't worry. It's like, okay. I can live with like a minute or two of you establishing jungle shots. That's okay.
No, absolutely. No, excuse me. No, I absolutely agree. Excuse me. Sorry, boys and girls. Them jelly babies. They're real and no high fructose corn syrup in those. John Washburn says, hey, hello. John just got back from the Chinese dinner. Good to see you, John. Rankin, what's up, buddy? This is Rankin Nice. What's up, beaches? What's up, Rankin?
What's up,
buddy? And yeah, everybody, if you're over on Rumble, make sure you hit that repost button over there too. Rankin, have you ever seen Doctor Who before? We might have to get you in for the next series. That'd be fun. Especially if you've never seen Doctor Who before, you'd be in for a treat. Sunker, did you have any other thoughts on that? On those first couple episodes?
No, it's just that other than it was spoiled a little bit that there's apparently going to be a romance between Mutant Boy and Susan. I don't know who spoiled it, but someone did.
I was more so predicting that was where it would go. I must have seen this like 10, 15 years ago. It's been quite a number of years, so a lot of it has kind of been lost to time. I know that sort of thing will happen with other stories, so it just seems like it's the sort of way they would have set up a story to be.
You spoiled it! I don't know.
Not in the dark.
But no,
his fault.
It is absolutely his fault. But no, I'm looking forward to seeing how they tie this up. And I do also like everyone's theories that this is actually why the Doctor was out here, or at least allowed out, even though he technically stole this TARDIS.
Yeah. No, I do. I like that idea too. I think that's a lot of fun. That's why I love all of the fan stuff about that. What's up, Griffin? Good to see you, buddy.
Hi,
Another one of
Griffin.
our fine channel subscribers over there on Rumble Estate. Sorry, I fell asleep. No worries. Hey, you're still. You ain't missed a thing yet. Just us chit chatting. You just missed a thing yet. So good, mate. Glad you made
Took
it.
your chair. And it's mine now. Griffin.
That's right. She has an epic chair now. But no, it's I mean, it's one of those situations where I've been enjoying this right from the get-go because you get to see so many fun first with the Doctor. And the first time you actually see the Doctor like legitimately lie to everybody. You know what I mean? And
it's not broken. We actually do have Mercury stuff, and that was a fun turnaround also with Ian was, or damn it, Ethan.
It's whatever. His name doesn't matter.
That he's just like, oh well, I guess it's gonna be really difficult for you to go over and do this thing because we're gonna go get Barbara, and I have the plug that you just gave me, and I'm not going to give back to you. Bye.
No, you're absolutely right. Shout out to Richard Conway.
Thank you.
No, and that's one of the fun parts I like about that too, is because of that stuff. And so it's fun to see that kind of thing happen for the first time. And the thing about it is, though, you also got to get to see some of the consequences of that. Because the radiation meter wasn't working right, so now everybody's getting radiation sickness. You see how evil the Daleks really are, because the Daleks are like, yeah, they're gonna die. And when we get the when they bring back the radiation medicine, like one of the Daleks even asked, "Are we gonna give it to him?" He's like, "No, they're gonna die soon anyway. We just want to analyze the radiation medication, so that way we can know how they're surviving out there and how they've been surviving this long." So it's like, it just shows you like how cruel and like uncaring the Daleks are. Like, nah, we don't give a crap. And they'll manipulate you and use you. There's a lot. And I think you're right, Sunken. You see a lot more depth with these early Daleks than kind of what you see later on. Now, it's not to say the Daleks don't have complex plans in the future, in the later stories, in the later series and stuff like that. But you don't see as much communication between the Daleks of them actually discussing things the way you would see a team. They're always more a little bit of a hive mentality kind of thing where they've got their direction and one thing and that's what they're doing, versus with this, you get to see a little bit more of the discussion, a little bit more things going on. And also this could be also one of the situations where this is also pre-Supreme Dalek, and all of that kind of stuff, which those are things that happen kind of later on in like the Time War and things like that. So it's one of them situations where if that's the case, then it all makes sense why they change, why they evolve, and why they don't act the way we see them in the future here. And the nice part about that is because we're going back to the beginning and watching this all from the front, or from the beginning, we'll be able to see how they evolve through the series and go through and do all that kind of stuff. So that's what makes this so much fun for me, is getting to see all of this from the beginning and see how everything evolves and how everything starts and see those first. And that's what I love about, that's one of the things I love about. And I know they were kind of out of order. This wasn't supposed to be the ones we were supposed to get initially. But because of other things that happened, these ones are the ones that we ended up getting. This ended up being the second series. And I love it because this is one of the most iconic characters. And it's so much fun to go, because you laugh at him. You think about him like, how ridiculous, how did this have to look back then for everybody to actually be like scared and terrified of these. Because if you saw one of these rolling down the street, especially the versions back then, you'd be like, this is ridiculous. This is dumb. Because we've all seen the behind the scenes footage. We've seen the colorized pictures and stuff like that. But when you watch how it's shot, when you watch how they do that, you know, you're like, oh. And that shows you how good the cinematography was back then, how much effort they were putting that into. I brought it up when we were watching the episode. It's very reminiscent of what you saw with Psycho, with Norman Bates and all of that kind of stuff. And that, the shower scene, it was very reminiscent of that. And so they and even if they were trying to do it as a straight imitation, they did a good job of imitating it. That's what they were. It was completely and totally believable. It didn't feel like a cheap ripoff of anything. That moment felt horrifying. Yeah, have at it, Sunker. That moment actually felt like that. And so that's one of the nice parts about all of that. And so I've really enjoyed that, seeing that kind of stuff and seeing the Doctor in one of his first situations where he really is out of his depth. He really is on the back end of things. He's suffering from radiation sickness, which of course is going to affect his mind. It's going to affect his body. We know he's already an old man, and the Daleks basically have them at his mercy. You know, and this is one of those first times where you really see the Doctor in a bad spot where he can't even use his mouth to get out of the situation. Like we saw that with the cavemen in the last episode. We saw it in the last series. We saw him getting out of it, kind of using his mouth and trying to talk his way out of it and trying to negotiate. He can't do that in this situation. And so it's going to be really fascinating to see how he gets out and how they figure everything out to get out in these episodes. But I really enjoyed it. I have a lot of fun with it. And I can understand some of the pacing issues you guys brought up earlier and stuff like that. I can get it. But also, this is one of the reasons why it's fun to watch stuff like this with friends, and why, honestly, I would totally watch all this on my own and it wouldn't bug me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be picking up my phone. It's not that kind of pacing issues, because you've watched shows, you've watched movies where you'll pick up your phone because the pacing's so bad and because you don't care about what's going on the screen. There is none of that in this. Is it a little slow? Yes. But are we being a little overcritical too? Because that's kind of what we do around here. Absolutely. It's not something you're going to go, I'd never watch that because I wouldn't recommend that because the pacing's so slow. None of us are going to do that. You know what I mean? It's just, it could be tightened up a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with critiques like that. Iron Castle, you're itching to say something. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. Well, one of the things to keep in consideration with this is the Doctor, as we know him, hasn't even been properly fleshed out yet. So we're seeing a lot of that getting sort of invented here for the first time. So you just don't have that same character. He's not the same Doctor that we will come to know and love. But in a lot of ways, this is the cradle of that, which goes to show you, like, that's how these shows go. At the start out, we got to eventually start building up, fleshing out the character for who they are, and we will see what does work. We also got to consider the fact that this is the second storyline of it all.
100%. No, and that's a great way to think about that too. Is like, this is the early days, man. This is before they ever thought they were going to get. This is before they even thought about that they were ever going to get a second season. You know what I mean? Let alone for better or worse, the 60 years of history that we have now with Doctor Who. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For all of its warts and everything else. I mean, nobody involved in this thought it was going to last this long. And we know there's a lot of people inside of the BBC that didn't think it was going to last this long because of how some of the later series and seasons are treated.
Also, let's not forget what was going on in the real world at the same time this was all going on. Like, the time they were coming to sit down and start filming, like, episode 3 of this particular storyline, they were just finding out about the Kennedy assassination.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. So, a lot of crazy things going on in the world. And it's always wild to think about that too, because we've talked about this before. And it's not this wasn't the last time that the real world things affected Doctor Who. We talked about it a lot when Grant filled us in on that little tidbit about how things worked with, a lot of the reasons why the Clara stories felt ridiculous and why they felt forced and stuff like that. It's because Amy and Rory left for early for the United States and for doing things in Hollywood and contracts and other projects and stuff like that. So all that stuff got cut short. And it's the same thing. And sometimes it works out great in a situation like this where we get our Daleks, which as Spartacus pointed out in the chat, this series saw a spike in viewership from these episodes from here on out. You know what I mean? So like it's God works mysterious ways. Sometimes things are very intentional. Some things are serendipitous.
There's so much imagination to it, and I know that gets thrown around so much, but like, yes, it is imaginative to go over and take a trash can, put a light bulb on it, and have it go over and do a 360. I think actually one of the scarier things about it is when it did a 180 to look back at them without even having to turn around. It's that thing of automation when everyone's getting new technology every day, and just like now they're seeing like, oh, how technology can run amok a little bit. Hasselhopper, hello.
Yeah, what's up, Hassa? Good to see you, buddy. Doctor's in a bad spot. Always makes me think Last of the Time Lords 10 second season finale. There you go. Good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah, there you go. Yep, there you go. Yeah, things get crazier as we get on. Good, but good to see you, Hass. Good to see you. Take a crash can and put an AC-20 on it, you say? Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it, man. That is exactly pretty much it. I love it. So, well, there you go, boys and girls. There you go. I think that's good. That's a good way to do it. I like this. I like this a lot. So, yeah, boys and girls, as you can see, all the little banner. Oh, I forgot to mention the scarf and the hat, too. Shout out to Shadow Ward 99. I have is it 6th Doctor? Am I 6th or 6th, right? For the scarf.
That's
I'm wrong. I'm going to get beaten. Yeah, and that's number 6, though, right? Isn't he number 6? Or is he number 7? I can't remember. Either way, I've got Tom Baker's scarf. I got some jelly babies. We got a fez in the background. You guys can do donations and make me wear those fun things. 4th. Oh, wow. He's way
you
earlier
idiot.
than I thought. Well, I was way off. I forgot how early Tom Baker was.
Yeah.
Colin Baker is the 6th. That's what it is. See, I always get my Bakers confused. That's what it is.
Well, Ian and Ethan.
So Tom Baker.
I can't really throw stones.
Right. Like, what do you, Sunker can't really give me any crap for that one.
Just remember, Ian starts with an I.
Ian starts with an I. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pay no attention to the
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Do not try to comprehend, Sunker. Do not try to comprehend.
Oh
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to do with you people right now. Sunker.
Yes.
Ironcaster. Tell everybody over on YouTube bye.
So long, folks.
So long, gay boys.
Hey, well, yeah, I was gonna give Sunker an opportunity too, but I guess that'll work. Oh, I should probably share my screen at some point since we're gonna watch some Doctor.
It might be helpful. Thank you.
That'd probably be a good idea. That'd be helpful.
Ernie, hello, Raid Nation Gaming Clips. We can't even do a teaser because the bots.
They're so mean They're so mean. They are so mean on YouTube. Oh, there we go. That's all you get to see. YouTube.
The time for vagina.
That's exactly what it is. Good to see you, Wade. Peter Beckman fan site. I see you, sister. Sorry I missed you. Fan site will be joining us over on Kick. So yeah, boys and girls, there's a pinned link in the top of the chat. Go check it out. We appreciate all of you boys and girls so very, very, very much. Catch you later.
Oh God. The original Dalek was more complicated. That was a vertical cylinder, but it was a bit much. So they
no audio.
They redesigned it so the actor could sit down. So it was. Did the actor have to stay standing?
Oh no, that's
horrible. God! Stay standing on a dolly for hours on end.
Wow, that would have